Hello, and we want to welcome you to a special live coverage for this 3 days lockdown. This is a program where they come to you from Radio New Song and New Harvest Media team. We take the time for our inside bowl for this 3 days lockdown, for bring to you a real picture of how the township look like inside this 3 days lockdown. Well, I want to tell you, say, are they around Clock Tower? Now the back of me, you can see the Clock Tower, and yeah, na Tikonko Road, where they join Prince William Street, and also they go down to Dambala Road. Inside this 3 days lockdown, we'll be talking to plenty stakeholders for let them tell you how the new work we don't look like inside this 3 days lockdown. The first person we will talk to now be Inspector Mohammed Bobsi Senator in the media and public relations officer for the Sierra Leone Police South.
Mohammed Bobsi Senu, me the public relations officer for the Sierra Leone Police South region.
All right, Mr. Senu, we want to let generally tell people the most on observation as police officers for this 3 days lockdown. We're not the last day this today.
Yeah, well, the lockdown itself, we observe a lot of other issues, ranges from security concerns, medical concerns, the landmark concern, and even human rights as well. But we are a little bit, we will focus at the security issue. And I mean, we look at, we review with security strategies to ensure that we provide a very good frontline commanders to man certain locations within the city of Bo. What we do with the coming of the new AIG, I make it clear to you that policing administration is the same, but the implementation of operational policy vary based on the leadership style of each and every commander. And what we do, we not tamper with the night personnel then, because they envisage a lot of night offenses within the city of Bo. So the non-uniform personnel, and then more will make good use of them, as we will deploy them as strategic areas to ensure that they provide leadership strategies to the men then with the mentor. That is why you see, say, we provide new police officers to man certain locations. But on the whole, we not get any complaints of police hard-heartedness as compared to other areas. Like people are saying, police we are beating. Of course, we are professional enough to ensure that we respect the right of everybody, as well as the human right of all citizens, as well as we are the law enforcing body. Starting on the first day, we police well, and also be really observe the level of compliance was so encouraging. At the end, we were able to arrest one fake boy, now Mohammed Alhaji Nyale, we purport saying a military officer. He was dressed in military attire. And that's one day we now help the police with the investigation. Yesterday also, with the second day, it was well police across the region. Only that the other problems we get was Matrujon, where they say some people escape na quarantine house, they go na Bangbatu, but security, they respond quickly to ensure that those guys we are taken back to their normal places. That was the other issue. And today again we started with no problem. But only here where we are now, we get a complaint that about 28 head workers, including the security and the cooks, they in here because the first case.
Now the Bo Children's Hospital.
Yeah. Because the first case we'll get Naboya, now been worker na ya it be day. When you get the problem, they transfer na the Bo Government Hospital. So when we come here, we get concerns from those quarantine that since yesterday up to date, they not get enough food, they not get nothing what they eat. And this also required authorities concerned to really come into these issues and address, rather than we just left on this way, for which it will be detrimental to we the security, because if they decide for common, we will not get any protective gear to stop them. So that's why we call on key stakeholders, including you, the journalists, for come and really make this thing known to the general public.
All right, so in the whole, you want to actually assure people and say nothing will be like any security threat as compared like to all other districts?
No, nothing. We not get any, another just talk for Bo, the entire region.
Region, okay.
We get 7 police divisions now the south.
Now the south, okay.
We not get any serious threat.
Right.
Prior to this one, we also provided mobilities.
Okay.
We're talking about Gendema, we share border between Liberia and Sierra Leone. We get porous crossing point there.
Right.
We get like Bar, Dasalam, Bombo, Kalia 1, Kalia 2. We're not going to cover all those areas. What to do, we supply 4 vehicles, motorbike,
Right.
for monitor those places. Police, military, as well as the community people.
Okay.
For ensure say nobody no come on Liberia, cancel alone. That's why no problem no day. And also router again, that was the only issues, but we don't also try for address that issue. For now, no problem since this morning up to date. And we also continue with the maximum security coverage and monitoring from one point to another.
Well, then I'll be Mohammed Bobsi Senator. We talk to we and tell we how they as officers we don't work for make sure say this lockdown they're able to command them and also put situation under control. We also be take with them for talk to this large chairman for the South, Richard Haigevau. We'll be tell you how they as large be able to regulate journalism to monitor the 3 days lockdown.
Well, thanks, Paul. The journalists them get a key role for play, and we form part of the EOC. We think we do as a very responsible executive. We decide, say, we journalists them. We get a small session with them. We educate them as to how them for report, as to how they for cover the COVID-19 response, particularly inside this 3 days lockdown. Imagine a lot of people, journalists, when they go interview them, they don't know how to even put their recorders. We go put them at risks. So we train them as how them for report, and we talk to the station managers for let them know, say, we know they take more than 2 panelists again, now any talk show, because we don't know the status of the people, and as a result, journalists then they're on top of the situation, they filing quality and effective information where they gear towards putting an end towards this dreadful disease way na the COVID-19. So basically, as I talk to you, we don't really do well at this part of the country. We provide the information, we talk to people through we small means to get when the radio stations them. So if you ask me what's in the sludge they do, we they monitor for make sure say we journalists then keep to the compliance rules we'll give them that even though you interview person, you get for maintain the social distance, even though you talk to other people, you get for maintain certain rules them which sludge don't identify. And also during the coronavirus, as we prepare for celebrate the World Press Freedom Day for journalists them, we want to use this day for make we talk about we role as journalists them in ending the COVID-19, and we don't launch a campaign when Operation Max Up, where we feel say as large if we use masks during Ebola, we've been called the Yellow Ribbon Campaign, and the Yellow Ribbon Campaign now be ends the Ebola. We feel say if all man wear masks, you begin wear masks, your wife wear masks, we will continue for win this fight against the COVID-19. So Sludge, don't send them journalists them, don't talk to the radio managers, for let them make sure say they're able for give quality coverage now this 3 days lockdown. So basically we form part of the EOC, and we are really in tune with them. As I talk, we are on top of situation in terms of sharing information now this part of the country.
That now Richard Haigevau, this large chairman South, they tell you how they be able to regulate journalism inside the South. We also will talk to one man of God, we are Reverend Shodanke Johnson. From them, let us segue their own view as spiritual leaders. What do you mean for letting them host, churches them closed, inside this pandemic, and also inside this 3 days lockdown? We deal with you this afternoon. One for you tell you what now our perception as religious leaders and for this 3 days lockdown as we don't end them.
Well, for me, I believe said this is for the good of we all. I think that they talk on behalf of many of the religious people them. not the good for we all, because we know say the virus go affect we member them, it affect the members, it go affect the church, it go bring the church to a standstill. And in as much as I know there are a lot of people, you know, restricting freedom, not to think we all man they appreciate so easily. Freedom very that's we what all man cherish, and for restrict them it became difficult. But for time like this, we cheerfulness, resolution go bring, and we sacrifice and go bring victory for this fight against this virus. So I believe a lot of the religious leaders and heads them, you know, believe this is a worthy fight, and together the church and the government and the society as a whole and the religious order want to fight this fight together, so that we'll bring this whole thing to a speedy conclusion.
All right, today not the last day, and hopefully tomorrow we expect people for going to treat. How we as religious leaders and we talk to our members them for let them stay safe and adhere to the safety precautions with the medical people they don't give it.
Well, again, we just continue to talk to member them, we continue to talk to brothers them, every people them from every religious persuasion background. It's very important that the measures them we, the medical people don't say we not the global measures them, you know, they talk about the social distance, we need to maintain that. We talk about washing of hands continuously, you know, and using hand sanitizers them. They talk about if you cough or put your hand, you know, now you put you when you cough, at least you now your elbow. You also very important way. Then they talk about more use the face masks for protect, so that somebody you get a virus, you know, pass out, somebody get a virus, you know, pass on to you, and all the other precautionary measures for being at home, it was possible for me to home do that, and all the shake hands or hug somebody, all that thing, and they don't hold together, cultural things they don't hold together. We need for continue to do that, but you know, as religious people, them as we do all that here, we continue to encourage members them, and pastors will continue to encourage them, member them for do this. We also continue to pray, because prayer is the greatest weapon we will use. So with all of this put together, you know, God give you knowledge and wisdom. Now make people then come up with anything there. Now part of what they do, but also they back up with a very serious prayer, so that God will make, we don't get the kind history or stories where they get around the world, but also that God will bring this whole thing to a speedy conclusion, not only in Sierra Leone, in Africa, and the entire globe.
All right, one for say plenty thank you when you talk to people inside the program this afternoon.
I tell them I thank you for what they do. I always say to everybody, love stay safe, love stay alive. Thank you.
Okay, Fumble, as I've been telling you, they inside the 3 days lockdown, and today now the final day. The New Harvest Media team and Reading News Song go around for look at how the 3 days lockdown be, how the 3 days lockdown be, and also take time for talk to stakeholders them we be done there for monitor and say for provide some service inside this 3 days lockdown. With me now, I get one member of the EOC, when Honorable Eric Jimo. You go say hi to Fambulem, sir.
When I do Fambulem.
All right, Honorable, how the AOC be done there inside this 3 days lockdown for make sure say they provide service to all the side that we need on our service?
First and foremost, we look at the last lockdown, we see what will be lapses, and we'll try for making it happen this time. Unfortunately, this time we'll try for put a lot of things happen. Nambo knock one case. That one case sincerely, as I sit at Tinapia, they talk to owner, me, self, when a part of the team, not happy. And secondly, now we get a point hand pan the medics, you know. So most of the African pass, I don't know about 2, 3, mostly now from the medical team they come out, and that happened now. And luckily, I'm glad before I meet you now. As for the day, I was there with a very heavy heart. The body self work for now. Before I work for go free town, they don't die, and then I road they bring a car as they talk to now. So now I make the workers quietly, and what I do observe now, where the workers quietly. Now for break now 1, 2 quarantine homes for see the people then waiting at the primary and secondary contract them. We don't put them in quarantine because that the procedure asks for. Primary case number 9, about 108. The secondary case will not done 98 is about 117. Clear? So this is a great challenge on the part of both. Where the team in a quarantine homes and they will come out, the person sector positive and quite a different thing. But this now, you don't do in the community. So everybody, even who says self way they walk now, we're afraid. Because the COVID, not been tried like Ebola. Me said my experience, because I may set all the region, the district offices of Ebola that 10 day. Now my experience I bring inside this. Now I dey supervise the social mobilization team, create awareness. Now make as I see, not to say me personal relationship, as I see when I get then to and I say well, part of social mobilization I have to create awareness.
Yeah.
Now in fact this myself I don't meet the team. I think what I don't want. That's how call. Now people then at the house, you can't any community. Then not to dance or no dance, then go listen to you. Maybe some people know to read this therapy and how dangerous it is. And when you like, you know, like, and this night don't airborne, they come by droplet, and they begin the transfer. Who say if na me get and say me and this man, I not show sign, but this man can able to pick up. Now that thing the thing don't come, we don't make we pray. So all this what they do, create awareness even onto the security. If you see them now, we don't change them position. Who say will be no say they have a shortcut than they. Now they don't put them so possible not get balance no more. Then the difference again this time I see then theft cases will be get that first lockdown.
Yeah.
It not happen again this lockdown. Whether the people don't conscious don't stay away or the thief man they not run come on out or the security this time don't put a better strategy in place as it is. In short, that we didn't do now, getting ready and set for, if possible cases. But if then possible cases then come, we for be ready also for what you will call a treatment center. Now the only thing down in us, Togo district not get a treatment center. But as I talk to you, just come out meeting, we come out discuss them. We don't try for medical coordinator of Free Town that will need a treatment center. And besides, even this what they do now, this quarantining, you need a lot of support. First, they visit you, or you say no, they come out. And if that happens, not to prison with the set. We for ready, for give them the support, you know, as you get in the house, the people are able to play, then they're able to move and talk to people. So now the issues and down the way they do, and now the things and down the way we think say we have to be very, very careful about.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable. We also want for maybe just left advice to people how then go able for at least stay safe so that they're not going for move this thing because we don't understand. So this thing are more money move them, you know they move by himself.
I agree with you. Now whatever this thing will be an imported case. But I don't tell you the difference of that imported case, whether flight schedule them stop, not lock borders or whatever. And normally we then come out and go carry and go quarantine. Now this is the case of the happen. Now it don't come in a community. Now it don't make we really. So I mean, person you believe or not believe, immediately talk say COVID is rare, very, very rare. And now I make it be like that Ebola case so they not person 100, 200 before we take all the precautions, low wash hand frequently, low social distance. Now that the electrical will make they talk now before a market. Tomorrow now we all man go feel say 1 year not eat it. All man go cry no one know that touch you that one play. And that's so now that will be afraid. Even this the whole of plan down will come tomorrow. Yes, other things and they coffee other day. But now the pen power we say so we should be conscious. No matter how poor this is done, let's use it to keep the social distance and the rub and the shake and just like how about it. If we people then really know say this thing they and they kill. And we don't have system now, not like other countries say we don't kill so many. Lord knows say it they be and Lord will say we say at least for let's stick to the advice with the health authority don't get away government don't put for be an issue.
Right, one for say plenty. Thank you when you talk to inside the program this afternoon. Well, we will bring to you pictures of different patterns at the township, how the street will look like, what they carry on there. But in the whole, I want to tell you, say, the 3 days lockdown will be a success because everybody adhere to what the Papa government say. Right? I want to say plenty thank you for your time where you take for listen to this video, watch this video. We'll do and follow bring to you a clear picture of how the entire township don't look like inside this 3 days lockdown. This program comes to you from Radio News Song and the New Harvest Media team. Plenty thank you.